Most people would agree we are influenced in ways we don't even realize. And whether you slide printed photos into sleeves or simply post your pictures with heartfelt captions, I'm willing to bet that your approach to memory keeping, or at least your attitude toward memory keeping, was shaped by my next guests. Any of us who were present in the late 90s and early 2000s know these names and faces. You probably know their handwriting and their favorite colors too. They are the OG memory makers, and they are all in our studio for an overdue reunion. Lisa Bearnson starts our roll call. She was the editor and co-founder of Creating Keepsakes Scrapbook magazine, which was a trend-setting publication that we all looked forward to paging through each month. Becky Higgins was the first creative editor of that magazine, a job she landed at 19 years old. In 2009, she started her own company that offered solution-based products for memory keeping, and she continues to inspire women to cultivate a good life and record it. Stacey Julian pioneered a magazine called Simple Scrapbooks in the early 2000s and created the innovative online learning platform Big Picture Classes. She creates products and currently teaches how to live your story. And all along the way, Heidi Swap has been sprinkling her magic in many forms as a storyteller, craft and decor designer, creative instructor, and speaker. She is known for her innovative style and her trend-setting product solutions. They feel like friends because they shared their lives with us through the scrapbook layouts and beyond. To you, I just say hi, queens. Hi, queens. Are you kidding? This is so surreal. Listen, I have to say a couple things. First of all, I kind of love that our Studio 5 spies knew that there was a sleepover happening. This was a private get-together, and we just wanted to be the day date. So thanks for saying yes. Second of all, I think I've told some of you this individually, but I worked in a scrapbook store in the early 2000s, and I would sit and page through and read all of your words and look at all of your faces, and so this is kind of funny. Also, Abby, come here. Lisa, I don't expect you to remember this, but you were the first guest, one of our first creative guests on Studio 5. You created this on our first show.
Oh my goodness.
You signed it.
Oh my goodness.
How about that? That was back in September.
That's so cool.
This is still in my office.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That is a high swap circle.
Look at this.
Frankly,
that is crazy.
I won't use because I can't run out.
Isn't that funny?
We'll be quiet.
So what was this like to come together? First of all, you say it's now going to be a yearly thing.
Yes.
But you were cemented, your friendship was born and cemented during such a huge time. As you think about what was and those periods, those years, where you were leading women out on this new memory-making journey, memory-keeping journey, what comes to mind, Lisa, when you think of that time?
Well, first of all, last night, no sleep, so we all
Of course
were,
not.
you know.
You're all nice and punchy.
For me, it was a thrill to be the voice throughout the world with the magazine, but then such an honor to find beautiful women like these three and so many more that just really made me look good in the pages. And that what we all love are memories and family. And you know, we loved the creativity of it all. So
and that was at the core. You all are creators. And that came out naturally, but how cool to have an extension, Becky, to do it in such a big way.
Yeah, and the cool thing about it, especially in those early days, there was such an energy throughout the whole space, don't you think? Of women especially who were finding this outlet through creative expression in connection with the memories and the families, and like bringing it all together into that melting pot of an experience. The energy around that is something I'll never forget.
What do you think of, Stacey, when you think of that time?
Just the thrill of meeting people from all over the world who were so like me, and there's no other avenue through which I could have met them and connected in that way. Working with a team, like, and just feeling that creative energy, and I mean, just, that.
It's hard to summarize, Heidi, and like the momentum is still going, it's just changed. And to see the change is probably also part of the fun of this reunion and this reflection process.
Well, I just thought, like, back to those days, like, I was so young and stepping into this space that gave me an identity, and these women who, like, I just kept thinking, my gosh, where would I be if I hadn't gotten this phone call from Lisa Bearnson, right? And scrapbooked at Becky's house and had one-on-one mentoring with Stacey. These women have shaped me into where I am now, which is really powerful.
Let's talk about that evolution, because it has changed so wildly. I don't think we stop often enough to think of how our lives have changed in the last decade, 10, 20 years, and memory keeping kind of reflects that evolution. How are you memory keeping now, Stacey? What does that look like for you now?
You know, for me, I'm probably the one who hasn't changed a whole lot, but I still love to paper and paste scrapbook, but it's story. It's really the story, and it's a lot of mixed stories over the years. I'm now old enough that I can look back with a perspective and draw connections, and I understand the power of story, and I see it now in my kids' lives. I don't even care if they want my scrapbooks. They will have a love of storytelling because of what we did.
Which is at the core of the creation process, right? Is storytelling. Becky, what does it look like for you right now?
It's profoundly different. My experience is different than Stacey's, where the evolution has been such a special part of my experience with memory keeping. At the heart of it, the core, that has never changed. It's the photos, the stories, the memories, the connections that we build and strengthen through doing those things and bringing them together. But it's profoundly changed in the way it looks in terms of like I embrace whatever I'm thriving in that season of life, and it used to be a creative outlet, and now it's the simplicity that brings it to life for me, and having it be simple and happen, you know, in the palm of my hand through an app, for example, is like life-giving for me, because I feel like I'm able to be better at getting it done.
And Lisa, you've slipped into what I'm told is the most beautiful phase of nanahood.
Yes.
And you now are not like core keeping for your core family, but you're watching your kids kind of develop that appreciation for story too.
And you know, I have 6 grandchildren, and I play school nonstop with them. That's what, I'm the mean, strict teacher, and they're the naughty students. But I use, this is a little memory game. I'm actually taking out to a grandson in California, and I do a lot of, use my supplies for my class. And I love using it that way, but it's in their hands now. And I build pickleball courts, so I've just gone to a different level where now I'm addicted to pickleball.
Listen.
And I'm like, I build courts, so
the passion has shifted.
It's shifted. But
Heidi, how would you describe the demand of keeping the magic alive? And I say magic, and I guess I mean more passion, like Lisa just spoke to.
No, she's magic.
I know she is. I know she is.
That was a good word.
But for women out there, like to keep the passion alive, you've all done that in various ways. What do you think is key to that?
You know, I'm the opposite of simple. I'm the opposite of organized. I'm the opposite of getting things done. Like, I just love, like, the pretty. I love the curiosity and the playfulness of it. And while the stories are there, I mean, my kids still like go in and count to see how many photos. Like,
if they're
who's got the most photos, because that equals the favorite child, right? I think that I just have to keep being curious. And I think that my inability to focus on something for very long just keeps me clicking along, you know?
All right, we've got a quick 1 minute. I knew this time would go too fast, but this week on Studio 5, we are focusing on the word intention, which is sort of a new buzzword. And I'm curious to know if you feel like your time and investment in memory keeping and in storytelling has made you more intentional. And if so, how? What would you say to that quickly, Heidi?
100%. I think, like, even just knowing I want to document this, and so I'm gonna take this group photo or this photo of this place.
Yeah, Stacey, memories and intentionality.
That blessing of being able to, as a young mom, be present. I learned how to be present. I learned how to stop and just enjoy the moment. That is a gift. It's a gift.
I say this a lot: live the story you want to tell. That is the intention for me. I want to live my life in such a way that it is a story that I get to tell.
Lisa, what do you think?
Amen.
Yeah.
So I know we're out of time, but amen.
Yeah, it does. It brings you in that moment. And I sometimes find myself thinking, I don't know if I remember that because there was a picture, or if there was a picture because you know what I mean? You don't quite know what feeds each other, but there is such power and presence in the work that you ladies do and the way you've inspired us to all do it as well. This was such a pinch me. This is so fun.
We are so grateful.
Can we be your day date for the next sleepover too? Because that sounds really fun. Okay, I'm in. Can I bring this? Can I bring this?
I gotta look at that more.
I think we need to update.
We have some.
You guys, we love you. Thank you so much.
I can't believe you have that.
In my office. Isn't that fun? We made this on the show, the first show.
Of course you did.
Had to keep it. Had to keep it. Love you, ladies. Thank you very much.